pretty sure that's what it is anyway.
They're loading up. Look, they're loading up.
Hello everyone, welcome!
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us for our artillery demonstration. I'm going to make a quick phone call to our rangers so that they know we're about to fire this thing.
Probably a good idea.
They do not like to not know. Which is understandable. It's
Butterfly, Mommy.
going to make a big boom, so.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Hold your mouth open when it does. Hold your mouth open.
Hi, this is Caitlin up at Fort Miles. We are about to fire off our 3-inch gun for our artillery demonstration. Just want to let you know.
Then they will
You're welcome. Bye.
stop.
Alright. Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin. I'm going to be doing the interpretation for you today. I am joined by Sean, who's actually going to be acting as our demonstrator for this event. We're going to teach you a little bit about a 3-inch gun, how it operated, and then we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to fire a blank with this gun, give you an idea for what it would have sounded like. We're not going to fire anything out of it. The military frowns on us doing those sorts of things. And since all of our guns are usually pointed at New Jersey, it would not be very friendly of us to do that.
How has New Jersey ever done for you?
So, the 3-inch gun, a little bit of its history. Fort Miles is what we call a coast artillery fortification. That means it's on the beach and it's got big guns. The 3-inch gun is actually the smallest gun they have here at Fort Miles. They only get bigger from here. In our artillery park, we have examples of every kind of gun that would have been at Fort Miles during its history. So it goes from 3-inch all the way up to 16-inch. Does everybody know what I mean by 3-inch gun? Before I get too much further, yes. So I mean the diameter of the end of the barrel is 3 inches. So everybody has a chance to see this is what would come out of a 3-inch gun if we were to actually fire it. So the diameter of the back end of this shell is about 3 inches. You can see it's pretty hefty. It weighs about 15 pounds. The whole thing altogether weighs about 50 pounds. And what Sean is going to demonstrate, the piece that he used weighs about 50 pounds. So it's heavy. This is a 1903 3-inch gun. It's designated as anti-aircraft. Let me know what else happened in 1903. For the very first time, the Wright brothers fly an airplane. So you have a gun that's created before anyone's using airplanes, designated anti-aircraft. As you may understand, that means it is not very good at being an anti-aircraft gun. They invent guns that are way better at that, like the 90mm that we have over there. So the 3-inch gun is essentially obsolete by the time it gets here for the job that they have it set out to do. That said, they do still have several batteries of these guns. They are all located up on what is now the point of Cape Henlopen. So if you've been walking around up at the point at the northernmost part of the park, you're walking around where the 3-inch batteries actually work. We are going to go ahead and Sean is going to demonstrate first with a dummy round the way that this gun would actually be loaded and fired. As he is demonstrating this, I want you to keep in mind, this gun would usually have a crew of 15 people. Sean is going to do it all by himself. Alright, we don't have an extra 14 staff members to do this program. Alright, Sean, would you show us an example of how this gun is actually loaded? So you can see what Sean is using has got a shell end, and then it's got the rest of it, which is the casing. The casing does not come out the end of the barrel. That's what holds all the powder. He's gone ahead and loaded it into the breech. This is what we call a breech loading gun, which means everything goes into the back end of the gun. He's going to go ahead, if he were actually firing this, and he would attach the lanyard to the trigger. The trigger is very innocuous. It's a tiny, tiny little trigger on the back of this gun. If you didn't know that that's what it was, you'd probably miss it. And yet it does the job just fine. He's going to go ahead, he's going to attach the lanyard, he's going to get in position. And then I'm actually going to ask him to demonstrate pulling the trigger for you. Now when he does this time, there's nothing in here except that blank, that fake round, right, that dummy round. So when he pulls this trigger, you're not going to hear a bang. If you listen real close, you might hear the click of the firing pin hitting metal. Go ahead. Everybody hear that click? All right, that's that firing pin hitting solid steel. We're going to go ahead, and this time we're going to do it for real. We are not going to aim it at a city. We've got a range down here with no people in it. That's why we kicked all you guys over here onto the side.
Okay.
So what he's done is there's a latch called the salvo latch. He's hit that latch. It allows him to pull down the lever, opens up the gun, and now he's got the breech open. So the breech is just the back end of the gun. That block is called the breech block. He's going to go ahead and prepare a round to actually fire. So while he is doing this, quick caveat once again, nothing is going to come out of the end of the barrel of this gun. Alright, so we are not actually going to be firing a projectile. What we build for these programs are blank rounds. They make a really good noise, but they do not actually send anything out the end of the barrel. Does anyone have any questions about the 3-inch gun while Sean is putting that round together? That is a great question to which I do not have an answer. Dang it! I'll throw another fact out there though to sound like I know stuff about this thing. This gun can fire 6.2 miles, which is considered a short range for the guns that we have here. To put that in perspective, the 16-inch gun can fire 25.5 miles. So a little bit more. Any other questions?
Were the guns fired here?
Ooh, were the guns ever fired here? So, if you're thinking back on your World War II history and you cannot remember the great battle of the town of Lewis, that's because it never happened. So, this fortification is built primarily to defend against German battleships. Those battleships never show up, which is a good thing, I argue, until these guns never get a chance to be fired. This is anti-aircraft. No German aircraft carriers completed during the war. No airplanes. No need for an anti-aircraft carrier. So these do not get fired in anger, is what we call it. They do get fired in practice a lot. And as a result, the men serving here are incredibly accurate. Many of these men go on to serve both on the European and the Pacific front once it's realized that this is not going to be used. All right, so what Sean has done is he's gone ahead and prepared the round. He's now going to demonstrate loading the gun once again. It's going to be a little bit different this time, a little bit heavier. And you can see that breech block comes up and it seals the gun in there. All right, we are going to go ahead and prepare to fire. East range, are we clear? Clear. West range, are we clear? Clear. South range, clear? Clear. Clear. All right. Gun, are you ready?
Open your mouth, Lord.
All right, this is going to be a little bit different. It is going to make a bang if you would like. I recommend covering your ears. All right, Sean,
your mouth.
in 3, 2, 1, fire. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Clear. All right, the gun is clear. That's just a small taste of what a 3-inch gun sounds like to fire. We appreciate you all coming out here. Hope you enjoyed the program. Shameless plug, if you want to learn more about Fort Miles, we got Battery 519 up the hill. It's free to come in and join us. If you want, you can also take one of our many towers and other programs that we have available for you all. Thanks again for joining. We're going to go ahead and clear this area and you can step up.